Now we're closing in for the last few weeks of this year of 2019. Unfortunately, Sri Lanka couldn't end the year on high as they lost the last test match against Pakistan by 263 runs. But in overall conditions, it was a pretty good year for the World Cricket Arena. So as usual, without any further ado, let's begin this week's episode of Extra Cover as we peek into some interesting stories from the previous week of the cricketing world. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the second and the last test match, or another historical test match between Sri Lanka and Pakistan, concluded with Pakistan winning the match by 263 runs. But it was that partnership between Shan Masood and Abid Ali that was highlighted in the second innings, as Pakistan went on to score 555 runs just for the loss of 3 wickets.
Abid Ali and Shan Masood became the only third opening pair for Pakistan to hit centuries in the same innings as Pakistan turned the tables on Sri Lanka in the second and the final test in Karachi. Abid, nicknamed a legend in Pakistan's dressing room, hit 174 runs for his second 100 in as many tests, becoming the first Pakistani and the 9th batsman overall to score 2 centuries in his first 2 tests. And it was only the second time in the history where all 4 batsmen scored centuries in one test match.
Now, as a part of the project to regain test matches in Pakistan, or to replay test matches in Pakistan, the MCC, or else the Marylebone Cricket Club, will send their team, and the team will be captained by Kumar Sangakkara for a series in the new year 2020.
Marylebone Cricket Club confirmed on Wednesday that they would send a touring squad to Pakistan next year under the captaincy of the President Kumar Sangakkara after the return of the Test cricket to the country. The series between Sri Lanka and Pakistan was the first played in Pakistan since 2009, when 8 people were killed and several players and officials wounded after terrorists opened fire on Sri Lankan team bus on its way to Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium. The attack plunged Pakistan into sporting isolation during its years-long battle with terrorists, with the home matches played in the United Arab Emirates. The MCC said that they had accepted the invitation from the Pakistan's cricket board to send a team to Lahore in February 2020 and would play a number of matches in the city.
The most anticipated T20 league in the world, the Indian Premier League, or else the IPL, is set to begin in mid-2020, and the auction took place in the previous week in Kolkata, and Pat Cummins made history as he went on for 13.5 crores, becoming the most expensive overseas bid in the history of the Indian Premier League.
Pat Cummins, with the base price of 2 crores, was sold to Kolkata Knight Riders for 15.5 crores in the IPL 2020 auction in Kolkata. In the process, the Australian fast bowler Pat Cummins beat Ben Stokes' price of rupees 14.5 crores to become the most expensive international buy in the history of IPL. England all-rounder Ben Stokes was bought for 14.5 crores in 2017 by rising Pune Super Giants. Among other big buys, Australian all-rounder Glenn Maxwell, with a base price of 2 crores, was sold to Kings 11 Punjab for rupees 10.75 crores. Sri Lanka's Isuru Udana was picked by RCB for 50 lakhs and was the only Sri Lankan to be picked, except for Lasith Malinga, who was retained by Mumbai Indians.
Now, the 2019 year was a very good year compared with some other years for women's cricket, as some new faces came in, new countries came in for women's cricket. And in the previous week, the International Cricket Council announced some major awards for the women's cricket.
Alice Perry bagged the prestigious Rachel Hayhoe Flint Award for ICC Women's Cricketer of the Year and was also named the Women's One Day International Player of the Year, making it an Australian sweep. Aliza Healy bagged the T20 International Player of the Year trophy for the second year running, while Meg Lanning was named the captain of the both One-Day International and T20 International teams of the year, the ICC announced on Tuesday. Perry was in top form across formats, hitting 300s, including one in the Women's Ashes Test. She averaged 73.50 from 12 One-Day Internationals this year, in which she also picked 21 wickets, including a national record of 7 for 22. She became the first player to complete a double of 1,000 runs and 100 wickets in T20 international cricket.
Now, those are some interesting news which we came across that occurred in the previous week in the cricketing world. So now let's get into the top 5 incidents which were recorded in the previous week.
Is that one of the hits? It's in the gap. No! Joe! Superhero Chris Jordan, and it's one of the best catches you'll ever see.
Oh, Fawad Ahmed does it again. Dan Christian going for the big one, which he has to do. Look at this catch. Full stretch. What a catch from Chris Jordan.
Just a perfectly timed leap. Ball was absolutely flying.
26-year-old from Pakistan. And gone! He gets a wicket again! In his first over, he loves it!
Get excited, mate.
And gone! He gets another wicket! Ralph, and he loves it! No, both of these franchises. Gone! He's knocked him over, Rogers! Oh, Harris is loving life in Australia. Gone again! He's running roughshod through the batting lineup.
Well, he plays for the Glenorchy Magpies. Just found out from Swamp, and what a delivery that is.
Not on the list. Gone! There's the fifer! He loves it! And he kisses the deck at Moe. I think, yes, on the up. It's gone up. And it's all one as well. That's four. That's going to be 4 as well. Wonderful stuff. It's a loose nut for George. In comes George Bailey. Slashed away by Nelson, just the one. That one slashed away, they'll take the one. Scores level. In he comes. And that's the win for South Australia.
Never find the gap. Was short and just stood up. Premeditated to an extent. He's put that in the gap.
That's it for this week's episode of Extra Cover. Hope you got a fair idea about some interesting news which we came across in the previous week. So please do subscribe our channel and please do leave your comments in our comment section as well. So with that being said, it's goodbye from Team Batsman.